Alright, today what we're going to do is I'm going to paint a sunflower. Here I print out the image that I got from Google, just print it out. And I'm going to basically transfer this image onto this canvas pad. I got this Frederick's canvas pad. I bought it at my local art supply store. Got about 10 sheets in it. And I just took out a sheet from there. It's a good sturdy canvas paper, so to speak. A lot of people use it, and I'm just going to use this for this particular demonstration. And I've got some graphite paper here, and I'm going to basically put this on top, and then put this graphite paper on top, and put this on top of it, and trace the image. Instead of drawing it from still life or drawing it from an actual image, I'm going to trace it for this particular video. What I want to do is put this on top, line it up just right. Put that on top of there, line it up. And I'm going to use a pen to trace my image. I like a pen better than the pencil. It's a nice strong tip to it. So I'm going to start tracing my petals first. And this is a good way to practice painting. Instead of focus on so much on trying to draw the image first, you can easily just trace the image. So now when I trace the petals, what I want to do now is add some shadows that I see inside each petals. I'm going to just lightly sketch, draw in my shadows where I see them. Kind of like a brownish orange shadow. And this will help me later on when I start painting, so I can know where my shadows will be, to give it a little bit more three-dimensional look to it. I'm going to shade in some of these dark areas, kind of like dark little spots here. And this will help me paint these in. I'm not going to get all of them, but just get enough to kind of capture the essence of the sunflower. There's a lot of dark areas right in between these petals. I'm going to shade these in as well. Get some more dark areas here. Got a lot right in here. Now, there's a lot going on in here. I'm not going to trace all that. That would take out too much time. But I am just going to kind of draw a few circles just to give me an idea of some of these dark areas are. Now let's see what we got. Take this off. Take that off. Cool. We are ready to paint. Alright. Zoom in so you guys can see that for a quick. What I'm going to do is get started. My background is this blue and white. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of that light blue and dark blue. I'm going to start right here because it's kind of darker here. I'm going to move to the light. I always like to start from a dark to lightest. So go ahead and get some of this blue, get a little white, mix it in. Nice dark blue. Has a little green at the bottom, so I'm going to get a little yellow, make it a little green. Not much. I'm going to start painting, get inside here. Some of that paint off my brush. A little bit more blue. I love this. I love the strokes. As you can see, I'm painting very painterly, meaning I'm showing a lot of brush strokes, not smoothing all my brush strokes out. And inside these little crevices between each petal. And as I move up, I'm going to get lighter and lighter. Get a little white. And voila, start painting that. Some of this paint off my brush. It's gonna get lighter. Get some more water. Get some of this green off. It's still kind of green, so get some of that off. Some of that paint off my brush. Smooth it out. And that's it. Alright, now I'm going to paint some of my dark areas. Got a lot of dark areas here. I want to get some of those in. Right up in here too, as I see. So it's kind of a brownish color. So I'm going to get it some of my yellow, of course. And we get a little bit of this red here. Might be a little bit too much red. Get a little blue. Kind of like a purplish. Get some more yellow. That's a nice brown right there. And you can make brown with using only your primary color. If you notice, I only have my primary colors here for this particular painting. I'm not going to use any other color. I pretty much learned how to make just about any color that I want using my primary colors. I know that's a big statement, but just doing this for a while, I learned how much of what I need to put in to make my particular color. So here's a nice brown right here, so I'm going to get that in, get a little bit more water, thin it out a little bit. And I'm just going to go right in here where I see the dark areas here. Might get a little bit white, just kind of thin, just kind of make it a little bit more opaque. Not much. I don't want it to be a light brown. I'm going to go over my dark areas here. Now these dark spots are like the darkest areas in this particular plane, so I always paint dark to light. So I'm just going in there. Not really going for perfection per se, so just kind of going in little areas where I think it's dark. And that should be it. And those are a little bit dark over here in this area, so I'm going to add a little bit more over here. And that's about it. Okay. Alright, now it's darker in here and it lighten up, so I want to add a little bit of green here. And I'm going to do that by add a little bit more blue and yellow. A lot more yellow. I'm just gonna put that in right in there. Mix it in a little bit. Come on down right in there. That should be it for that particular part. Now I'm going to add my shadows right in here. Now this shadow it's not brown, but it's like a dark yellowy orange. So I'm going to do that right quick. Use a small pointed tip brush, round brush. So here I'm going to get some yellow, dab of red. It's a little too orangey. More yellow. Let me get some of this brown out here just to kind of bring it down a little bit. There we go. That's better. A little bit more yellow. There we go. Tad bit white just to make it opaque a little bit. I like white because it kind of thickens it up a little bit. That way you won't see all my lines that I drew in. And voila, that's good. And I'm just going to go over the dark areas here. Could be a little bit darker, so I'm going to get a little bit more this brown here. I'm just painting in, nice and neat. Nice painterly strokes. Some of it's a little bit darker. So I'm gonna get some of this darker hue of this orangey yellow. I'm just lightly doing simple brush strokes. And that's it. Now I'm gonna paint my petals nice yellowy orange. Not gonna have as much of that blue or that brown in there, so I'm gonna start another color over here. Get some of this red, just to make it a little orangey. Just maybe a tad bit of that, so it won't be so intense. The color won't be so intense. A little bit more, so you guys come over so you guys can see it. And that's it. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's cool. I think it needs a little bit more yellow and maybe a little bit more white. There we go. That should be better, yeah. Still, I think it needs to be a little bit more yellowy and a little bit more lighter. There we go. There we go. That's better. I didn't want to get too close to that shadow. That was my whole point of lighting it up a little bit. Just that other color right here was a little bit too close to the shadow. So I wanted to lighten it up a little bit. I'm just going in and getting all my petals. I want to add some highlights to my petals. See a nice white right here. Over here. Outline some of my petals a little bit better. Get some of this dark color that I made. You see a lot of pencil lines. I'm going to just kind of outline lightly. There we go. Need a lot of water here, so keep my brush kind of thin, my paint thin. I'm just going over my pencil lines, so to speak, or the graphite lines. Just going over those lines, so you won't see them that much. But again, this is a good way to practice painting from dark to light. Good way to practice drawing and painting sunflowers. You can learn so much just from this one simple painting. Right in there, and I'm gonna stop right there, and that should be it. Zoom in so you guys can see. And voila.